Hi, I'm Matthew, and I'll be your AI voiceover companion for this video. I'm thrilled to announce the launch of a new Amazon GuardDuty feature that will help organizations better protect data in the cloud. Amazon GuardDuty Malware Protection for S3. In today's threat landscape, safeguarding your data in the cloud is more important than ever. This new capability allows you to scan your S3 buckets to detect malware from untrusted sources. We know that data stored in the cloud can come from a variety of sources, not all of which may be entirely trustworthy. GuardDuty leverages advanced threat detection capabilities to continuously monitor your S3 objects and identify any potential malware threats. When GuardDuty detects malware, it can tag objects, enabling downstream orchestration like automated quarantining, so the malware cannot spread or cause further damage to your critical data. The tagging also provides visibility into which files have been flagged, so your security team can investigate further. GuardDuty is a fully managed AWS service, meaning there's no infrastructure for you to deploy or maintain. We handle all of the underlying resources, scaling, and updates required to power this malware detection and remediation. Your team can focus on your core business, not managing the security operations. The setup is easy and seamless, requiring minimal configurations for both your application developers and your security team. Integration with your existing S3 buckets is fast and easy, allowing you to quickly start benefiting from this additional layer of protection. With just a few clicks, either using the console or CloudFormation, you can configure fully managed malware scanning on data pipelines built on S3. There's no complex setup or manual infrastructure required. GuardDuty provides you with highly contextualized findings when it detects potential malware by providing metadata about the impacted S3 bucket, the specific S3 object, and details about the type of malware detected. GuardDuty leverages continuously updated lists of malware signatures, and if a malware is detected, like any other GuardDuty finding, the generated alert contains contextual information around the details of malware category, S3 bucket metadata, and other scan-related information. It provides highly scalable, bucket-level monitoring, automatically scaling to handle even the largest data volumes in your S3 environment. Crucially, it also has the ability to quarantine any identified malware, preventing it from spreading and causing further damage. But most importantly, the agentless malware scanning solution relieves you of complexity to manage, operate, and incur overhead of underlying compute infrastructure. This allows application teams to focus on the business logic, while securing the applications uploading untrusted data to S3 buckets. In today's threat landscape, protecting your data in the cloud is mission critical. With Amazon GuardDuty S3 malware scanning, you get a powerful, fully managed solution that delivers quick time to value, enhanced visibility, scalability, and reduced operational overhead. Now, let's dive deep into the console with a demo. Let's start by enabling S3 malware protection in the AWS Management Console. First, navigate to the GuardDuty service. In the settings, you'll see the Malware Protection for S3 option. Then, if it's your first time, you should select an option to enable malware protection for S3. You are then provided with a one-page setup screen that asks which buckets you would like to scan. I will select the bucket for this demo that accepts public file uploads, and will add a condition for a prefix on public. Keep in mind, this is most practical to scan those potentially malicious files and not intended to scan historically. Keeping tagging on will enable tagging-based access controls, or TBAC for short, and other logical actions later. You will see examples of these later in the demonstration. To work properly, GuardDuty requires a role and trust policy which it can assume in order to perform the actions necessary to scan S3 objects for malware. I've created the appropriate configuration already for the demonstration, and will select it here. There are detailed instructions in the documentation which I will link in the description of this video. After that, all I need to do is select Enable and GuardDuty will get to work. Next, I'm going to upload a sample file from iCar, which malware scanning engines are designed to alert on. This is a great way to test the output and see the findings which GuardDuty will generate in my account, so you can build test orchestrations or some isolation examples. I will now upload an object that has a prefix of public to the directory that GuardDuty is monitoring, as I defined in my configurations. You can see here I am dragging and dropping the file into the bucket where GuardDuty is designed to alert on. And findings will be generated in just a few seconds. Now let's go back to the GuardDuty console to see the findings it generated on that recent file upload. Once GuardDuty detects this suspicious activity, it will generate a finding in the GuardDuty console. This finding will provide detailed information about the event, which you can then use to investigate and respond to the potential threat. I've created a filter for the finding type object S3/malicious file, which will show me only the findings associated with this new feature. When you navigate to the GuardDuty console and look at the findings, Clicking on the finding will reveal more details, such as the name of the S3 bucket where the file was uploaded, the specific file name and file type, the timestamp of when the upload occurred. GuardDuty will also provide an assessment of the severity of the threat, based on factors like the type of malware detected and the potential impact on your environment. These finding details are all written out to an event bridge which enable downstream orchestration, like notifying the resource owner by creating a JIRA ticket, controlling access to the object based on the applied GuardDuty tags, or build KPI metrics about infected scan count using CloudWatch metrics. When I click into the object itself, I can scroll down to see the tags which GuardDuty has applied. Keep in mind that GuardDuty will not scan objects over 5 GB at this time. I also want to provide an example of GuardDuty producing a tag for an object that doesn't contain malware. I've created a simple Word document and will now drag and drop that to my S3 bucket. There will not be any finding created in GuardDuty. However, there will be a tag applied to the object which can be used to validate that GuardDuty did in fact scan the object and that no malware was found. Now I will provide an example of using EventBridge and Lambda to orchestrate object isolation from the GuardDuty tags applied to the objects. I will now drag and drop 2 objects to an upload or staging bucket that GuardDuty is monitoring. This includes the Word document and the malware sample file from iCar that we saw in our previous example. In just a few seconds, GuardDuty will apply the appropriate tags to the objects, and the EventBridge and Lambda functions will handle automatically moving them to the corresponding bucket locations. The file with malware will go to the isolation bucket, and the file where no threats are found will move on to the clean bucket. Let's now take a look at the pricing for Amazon GuardDuty S3 malware scanning. There is a free tier included for existing accounts before June 11, 2025, and for new accounts which there isn't an end date for today. The free tier includes 1,000 put requests and 1 GB of free usage every month for the first 12 months. This allows you to test out the service and evaluate the benefits without big upfront costs. Once those free tier thresholds are surpassed, this feature charges by the volume of S3 data scanned and the number of objects, 60 cents per gigabyte and 21.5 cents per 1,000 put requests in US East. Please check the GuardDuty pricing page for your specific regions and for updates. The infrastructure necessary for performing malware scans is fully managed by the GuardDuty service, and when using fully managed AWS services, the underlying resources, such as servers, storage, and networking, are owned and managed by AWS within their own service accounts. Customers are billed for the usage of the AWS service, without the need to understand or manage the underlying infrastructure. This separation of concerns simplifies the billing process and allows you to focus on your business needs. Since the resources are provisioned and managed within the AWS service account, you do not incur any direct costs for the underlying infrastructure. By maintaining the infrastructure within their own accounts, AWS can efficiently scale the resources to meet the growing demands of their customers, ensuring high availability and reliable service delivery. This feature is unique because it can be used completely standalone and does not require any other features of GuardDuty to be enabled. The key takeaway is that Amazon GuardDuty S3 malware scanning provides a fully featured, highly secure solution, with pricing that scales based on your actual usage. Want to learn more and wondering the best way to engage? Get hands-on with an Activation Day. Activation Days are free events to provide hands-on and instructor-led training for developers, IT professionals, and business leaders who are new to AWS cloud services. During an AWS Activation Day, participants have the opportunity to engage in interactive workshops and guided exercises to get hands-on experience with AWS tools and services. Receive guidance from AWS experts on how to design, deploy, and manage applications on the AWS cloud, and explore best practices for cost optimization, security, and operational excellence when using AWS. The goal of an AWS Activation Day is to help organizations and individuals get started with AWS and accelerate their cloud adoption journey. If you are an existing AWS customer, please reach out to your account team to request more information or contact the specialist team directly by emailing Amazon GuardDuty at amazon.com. Thanks for watching. It's a bad day to be malware.